Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to yet another video of Ed's Moto Mindset. And today we're going to ride the incredible Suzuki SV1000-S from 2005. This is so different. Okay, let's try this. Fuck. I turned off. Anyway, let's not to crash. It's rainy. There are a lot of leaves on the road, so let's try not to crash this amazing bike. You hear it? Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. Okay. So this video is all about how beginner friendly is a Suzuki SV1000-S. You might think, well, this is not a beginner bike. It's not built for beginners, and that's true. But I know someone who bought this as a first bike. The guy I'm renting this from. So more reason to ride this incredible machine and discuss it with you. So to start off, we have 4 categories. Every category has subcategories, and every subcategory has a score. We average it out, and then we get a final score. Spoiler alert, it's not gonna end well for this incredible machine. But you will find out your way anyway. So the first category is riding, and the first subcategory is engine power. And with 120 brake horsepower, it's way too much for a beginner bike, for a beginner rider. Just way too much. It's incredibly fun, but if you're starting your motorcycle journey and you're starting to learn everything, you should not want to start on a 120 brake horsepower bike, and therefore it scores a 2. Next up, we got engine power delivery, and that is where this machine really shines in a bad way, because it's a 2-cylinder machine, not a 2-stroke, as I stated in my previous video, and it has a shitload of horsepower. It got a great displacement of 1000 cc. It's extremely unforgiving. And let's give a little throttle. There you go. So it's extremely unforgiving, as in extremes, and as a beginner rider, you really don't want this kind of power delivery, in my opinion. And I cannot stress enough, don't buy this as your first machine. Sorry, Tone. It's a lovely bike, but not as your first bike. So for engine power delivery, I rate this bike as a -1. Next up, we got weight. Oh, let's give it a little gas. You gotta love this bike, man. In his own rides, on his own spot, it's incredible. But not as a beginner bike. Anyway, next category is the weight. It's medium weight, as I might say, but it really has the tendency to go very fast, very soon, which is not great for a beginner bike, for a beginner rider. But it's light, but not as light as you want for a beginner bike. So I would say this scores 5. Next up, we got stability. On low speeds, you saw me try cornering. It's fine on this kind of speeds, but lower speeds, in the small cities and stuff, it's really hard to not fall over. It's really built for speed, if you know what I mean. So for stability, it scores a 4, and this is all from the view of a beginner rider, because it's an incredible machine. It's incredibly capable of riding hard, but it's not so capable of treating a new rider respectfully. Then we got aerodynamics. It's more windy than I expected, especially a bike that is focused for speed, and so yeah, that is something I didn't expect. But I see it's almost a naked bike, but not really a naked bike. It's something between a naked and a sport bike. So for aerodynamics, it scores a 4. And now we have fitting, and I was quite nothing on the right. I was quite surprised that it was this aggressive fitting. You expect a somewhat aggressive fitting to a sport bike, of course, but it was more extreme than I expected, and my knees are almost in my belly, and very aggressive, and your feet are high up from the ground, which is good for cornering, but very bad for a beginner rider. And therefore, for fitting, it scores a 3. And then a very dangerous subtopic, and that is fun. Yes, fun. This machine can be a hell of a lot of fun, but you should bring it to a track. You should scream the hell out of it. You should really push this bike. And then the question, is this fun for a beginner rider? And I would suggest no. This category scores a 2, which is very low. But as I mentioned, it can be a lot of fun, but I should really suggest not to buy this as your first bike. And if you sum those scores up and average it out, the riding category scores a 2.71. 2.71. Yeah, that's it. Next up, we have the reliability. And this is a Japanese bike. To start off the reliability category, let's start with overall reliability. And being a Japanese bike and being a Suzuki, very reliable. I found the internet there are some issues known, so it's not the best of the best, but it's really not terrible. So for overall reliability, it scores a 7. Next up, the age. The older the bike is, the faster the bike gets broken down. It's from 2005, which is not new. It's not the oldest bike I've ever ridden, and therefore it scores a 4. Next up, we have knowledge. There is quite a lot of forums and quite a lot of enthusiastic people about this bike on the internet. To my surprise, to be honest. And so if there's something wrong, let's go. If there's something wrong with the bike, you can search the internet and you will probably find some good some good information. So information availability, it scores a 7. And next up is parts availability. New parts are of course, he wants to go right, I think. Yeah, go right. New parts are available, of course, but second-hand parts not so much, and that is because the only production dates are from 2003 to 2007, which is not very long, and therefore not many bikes, and therefore not many parts. So for parts availability, it scores a 4. If you sum that all up and measure it out, for reliability it scores a 5.5, which is quite decent for a very hardcore sports bike, but it is what it is. Next up, we have safety, and safety has 3 categories which are very important for a beginner rider. And the first one is brakes. Brakes are very important for obvious reasons, and this bike brakes are decent. They're not the best, they're definitely not the best in class, but they're decent, they're fine. I've ridden better, I had better brakes. My own VFR has a little bit better brakes, especially the back brakes, but they're not terrible, so it scores a 6. Next up is ABS, and strangely enough, this bike doesn't have ABS, but if you think who the target audience is for this bike, you might know why there's no ABS. Let's go. You have no clue how that feels. It feels amazing. Anyway, no ABS, so it scores a 1 for ABS. And visibility, some lights are LEDs, some are traditionally light bulbs, which is too bad because people can see you less good than they should. But it's not terrible. The lights are fine. So also a 6 for visibility. Lights are of course important for you to see and for others to see you, which is evenly important. So 6 for brakes, a 1 for ABS, and another 6 for visibility, which comes to a 4.33. Not bad, not bad at all for a bike with no ABS. Well, and lastly we got price. Sorry guys, this is the problem with this bike. As soon as you see an open road, you want to give it gas like nothing else on the road. That's just not sensible. It's a lot of fun, but it's just not sensible. So, last category is price, and the first subcategory is a purchase price. And those bikes are are much more expensive than I would thought. If you know what I mean. I thought it would be cheaper, but they're not. GSXR is like 1/3 of the price, so which is the same hooligan machine as this. Maybe it's even better because it's four cylinder. But anyway, purchase price, I would say it's more expensive than you might think, and that is a shame. But therefore, it scores a 3. And then maintenance cost. I talked to the owner a lot, and you really don't want to go wrong because parts are expensive, really expensive, and second-hand parts are rare. As you can see, navigating the parking spots are a bit tougher than you might think. Let's roll another tape. So, I hopped on my own bike, and man, it feels good to be back. Not that the SV1000-S is not a bad bike, but it's just so incredibly powerful and scary to ride. Even I have my motorbike, so I got my riding license for 2.5 years. I've ridden quite a few bikes, and this SV1000-S scares the shit out of me. Nothing better than this old trusty bike. The SV1000-S, I'll ask the owner if he wants to ride in front of me so we can see more of this incredibly looking machine. Let's see if he wants to pass me at this corner. Oh, I'm slowing down. Go on, down. Oh, there we go. That was just a little bit Dutch. I will try to filter it out. Anyway, so we're now behind the SV1000-S, and you can see he rides this more than me. He's not scared for this machine. I am. Anyway, back to maintenance cost. Ooh, the open road. This machine, if parts break, the SV1000-S, if parts break down, you have to appreciate this bike, guys. So if the SV1000-S breaks down, you have to have a big wallet. Parts are expensive, parts are rare, second-hand parts are rare, so therefore it gets a 2. And lastly, the operation cost. Wow, guys, that's the problem with this bike. You just want to go freaking fast, and that's fun, but not sensible. Anyway, back to operational cost. The cost to operate this bike, so the gasoline and the insurance. It's really, the owner told me it's really thirsty for gas. Even more thirsty than my 10 years older bike with the carburetor. Injection should of course be more efficient, but it's really really bad at fuel economy, and therefore oh, and of course it's very expensive to insure because a shitload of power, and therefore for operating the bike you have this bike scores a 1, and therefore the price category gets to a 2.00. Nice. And what does this score say? Well, as you've seen in the video, it's not a bad bike. It's an incredible bike, but I would suggest not to buy this as a beginner bike. Really don't do it, guys. Come on. Okay, there we go. Maybe if you have a death wish, or you are just as stubborn as the guy in front of me, Tone. He's just a stubborn guy. He thought, well, I can handle it, and he actually did. But chances are a lot smaller than on anything else. So, if we summon this all up and we average it out, we do a 3.64, which in my opinion is a little bit too high, even though it's very low. But yeah, it is what it is. This is my honest opinion about this incredibly looking, incredibly sounding, and incredibly riding machine. So, thank you for watching. Let's go. Thank you for watching, and if you have anything to say, please let me know in the comments down below. I reply to all my comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!